All right, so tonight you're talking about going alone. I got a couple of layers to this. I was always a person that, like, people will tell you, my family will tell you, I won't ask for help. I'll just try to go off and do whatever by myself. Don't. But over the years, I realized that even when I thought I was doing it by myself, I still had all these people supporting me, all these people pushing me, even when I wasn't acknowledging it. They were still there. They were still there helping me go further, even if I didn't acknowledge it. But I would still, feel I was going alone. Now sometimes that I would I would take that anger and it'll push me to go further or push me to work harder. But most of the time, especially like you often see guys who want to be the lone wolf, or and then like even to a degree, it kind of cracks me up when you see the people talking about developing boundaries in the trauma recovery thing, and they tell them to separate themselves and push themselves away as you try to build your own network or whatever your support system. But at the end of the day, you still need to build a support system. You need to see, not even build it, you need to see that there is a support system there. Because if you can't acknowledge that support system, the people that are pushing you, that are guiding you, whether that be coaches, whether that be your parents, whether that be your siblings, whether that be your cousins, best friends, whatever. You want to put yourself around people who are encouraging you, who see you going for the things that you want to go for, even if you still feel like you're in it alone. Because it's true, you'll be in the shit alone. You'll be facing the obstacles alone. You will have these things to overcome by yourself. But that's part of the journey. That's part of the mission. That is part of the legacy. That's the definition. That is what gets you to be to the status that you're looking to be. Because at the end of the day, we're still pursuing excellence. We're pursuing the improvement of ourselves. You have to recognize that going alone just means you are alone in the actual act of defining who you are, not in the act of life. In death, you will be alone because we come in the world one person, unless you're twins or septuplets or whatever, but you're still one life. And when you leave, you'll be one life leaving. And so you have to keep that in mind that when you are facing your adversity, that is your adversity to face. That is your obstacle to face. That is your obstacle to overcome. Nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, can take your place in the shit that you go through. That is yours. Claim it, own it, take that pain and run with it. You got the ball, run. Own it. The moment you can own and acknowledge and face what you are facing, that is the moment you can overcome it. And then with great gratitude, you look at everybody who supported you and you say thank you. You thank yourself for having the strength to do it. You thank the people around you who sat there and saw you, who pushed you, who encouraged you, who sat there and said congratulations. Say thank you for the people you inspired while you struggled. Say thank you for the people that you have now motivated to try to get better. Say thank you for the people who sat there and put you down and said you were going to fail. Because every last one of them helped you some way. Whether they gave you anger, they gave you happiness, or they gave you some sort of motivation. Now understand that the only time you decide to take something someone gave you and turn it into something negative is you decided that you were going to allow somebody else to tell you that you were going to fail. But at the end of the day, you choose that. It's a choice. That's going to be the most important thing that you do is in being able to distinguish those two things. Distinguishing that you choose to succeed. Distinguish that you choose to own your success. You own your failures as mistakes and you take them as lessons. And realize you get up and you try again. And you try again because oftentimes the only time you can pursue greatness is if you fail over and over again before you find that success. It don't come free. It comes on the upside of the pain. You keep going. You go through it so that you can overcome it. You go through the forest. You go over the mountain. You go through the hills. You go through the ocean. You go through it. You don't just sit there and wait. So like it's the important part is that you when you're sitting there and you assess your goals, you assess where you're going, you assess the mission, your mission. Because your mission, your mission statement, your constitution, your personal beliefs is going to be what defines where you're going. But it also means that you have to be committed to doing that. You have to be committed to that success. I don't know, Gaston. All right. Hey, Aaron, why are you following me? Who are you? It's a good question. I don't know who you are. If you don't know who I am, it's fascinating. But okay, back to what I was talking about. When we are looking to achieve something, oftentimes we get so caught up in our pain, our trauma, our failure, and we start looking for people to blame. We start looking for an exit, an excuse, a reason to lose. That's the goal. Go hit the gym in the morning. Hit it ferociously. Because like the truth is, most of the time, people sit up there. That's the craziest part about my DMs is people ask me how am I getting up or how am I pushing through. Man, it's it's me recognizing what I'm looking to do, what I'm looking to achieve. Every time I make one of these videos, it's talking about how I set up my mind to go forward, how I set up my mind to succeed every single day, even if that success is just me getting up out of bed. Because some days that's just what it is, and then my ability to acknowledge that. But like I said, my personal constitution, my personal beliefs, my personal mission statement. What's up, Eric? Good to see you, brother. My personal mission statement is I know I wake up every day to be a badass to my standards, nobody else's. I know what I want to do. I know how I want to represent myself. When I'm too sore to walk, I walk anyway. When I'm too tired to get up, I get up anyway. Not for anybody else but me, because that's who I am. That's who I am to me. That's the person I need to see when I look in that mirror, when I wash my face, when I get myself ready for the day. But at the end of the day, throughout my day, one of the first things that I do, I try to talk to every one of my clients. I try to go throughout the week. I try to get in touch with clients. I try to get in touch with my family. I try to get in touch with my friends. I try to reach out to people and stay connected or stay into the moment and acknowledging how they helped me. Bom dia, Andre. How you doing? From Brazil. But you know, You're going to have to be able to acknowledge those things. Acknowledge those people around you because you're not alone. Recognize that. Especially for men, like when you sitting up there, you find yourself feeling stressed out, overwhelmed, and beat up. Look at those people. Look at those people around you that are supporting you. Look for them. Reach out to them sometimes. Because when you feeling overwhelmed, somebody's over there cheering for you because they can't believe you and got this far. When you feeling too tired, there's somebody sitting up there looking at you thinking, man, I would have quit by now. Look for those people. You're not alone. You may just feel that way because you took the time to isolate yourself up here. But the truth is, if you just took the time to communicate, to speak out, to speak up, you'd find that you have a lot of people supporting you. Yeah, you'll probably find some of your haters too. And that's cool. Be grateful for them too. Because they watching. They observing. Whether they want to see you fail or succeed, they still watching you. You ain't alone. It's a full-time show. See, these are the things that like go through my head as I'm sitting up here. I'm telling you, like I tell everybody, I know I'm a narcissist. And then like I watch people go through things where they're sitting up there thinking, they say it doesn't matter what people think. Bullshit. Bullshit. To some degree, it always will matter. Now, the truth is, what's going to matter most is the value and worth of the things that you accomplish, that you achieve, that you succeed at to you. However, saying that doesn't matter what other people think, that's bullshit. Because at the end of the day, that's adding weight to every accomplishment you do, every accomplishment you make. Whether that's even just getting the title of being a good father, being a good cop, being a good firefighter, being a good garbage man, being a good teacher. Every last anything that is of weight and of merit, it's gonna require other people to call you great. Because you can't say I'm great and it be true. You have to earn that. They're looking to you. They're looking at you. They're watching you. And we don't become great alone. It kind of boggles my mind that people think that people think that, once I develop my self-worth, once I develop my self-esteem, once I develop, yeah. Guess what? That all comes from inside of you. That comes from developing that inside of you. That's coming from acknowledging what you accomplished, acknowledging what you're good at, acknowledging what you're passionate about, acknowledging what you do, how you express yourself, and how you express yourself in life with every heartbeat you got. And that total impact, that impact that those things have on the world around you, the impact of those things have on the people around you will then be felt internally by you, because then you will see, and only you can validate what you've done, can validate your accomplishments, can validate you. You do that alone. You can go alone in doing that. However, you have to recognize the need of every person around you and the impact you make on those people's lives. Because that is the transcendable validation of your existence. The legacy you leave behind, the people you help, the people you pick up. So, that's what I got for today. We're talking about going alone. Yeah, it's cool to think you're just some lone wolf. But quite frankly, if you go sit up in a mountain somewhere by your damn self, live off the land, mind your business, that's cool. That's not human. Because humans, we're social creatures. We're designed to be around each other. We evolved from helping each other grow. We evolved from helping each other out. What's up, Danny? We evolved helping build each other up. We didn't do that alone. We did it together. We healed together. We build together. We're not designed to be alone. We're built upon each other's existence, each other's compassion, each other's empathy, each other's strengths, and fulfilling each other's weaknesses, filling the gaps, somewhere that got lost. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for joining me. It's 30 days of 30 lives. Y'all stay tuned. I'll be back tomorrow night. All right. Got any questions? Got any topics you want me to discuss? Hit them in my DMs. Peace.